Here we are for the last time from Arena Jižní Město. Ondřej Řízel and Balázs Hajelkai next to me, and we are facing our, as I said, last game here at Arena Jižní Město of the European Boxercross Championships 2026. And we are ahead of the 17th place game between Portugal and France. You can see the measurements on the left top corner, but they aren't as big as they were a couple days ago. Balázs, what are your thoughts about this matchup?
Yeah, finally just talking of the measurement, because from somebody who just watches the stream right now, it's not a big deal, but we spent our first week here, or the first part of the tournament, over 35-ish Celsius, sweating everything from everywhere. So we are happy that for the second part, like for this week especially, a little cool down just came to whole Prague. And you know, it's the perfect weather here inside of the sport hall, or maybe outside at Malasice or Radotín, where are the golden medal games going to play soon. First we start with the women's game, and hopefully when we finish here there will be enough time us to go to Radotín to watch the men's game also. But here we are. The 17th placement game is, I said it before, it's special. Not a championship game, but you know, you try to avoid the last place in the tournament, and this is going to be a huge rematch between Portugal and France. They met before, and apart from that, both of the teams are winless. But there are so many other pretty special scenarios happened with them. We're going to talk about that. Individual efforts, or good defending by goalkeepers or defenders, or so many penalties, minors, majors, bites. So many strange things happen between these two teams so far in the European Championship. So hopefully that's going to be kind of like the same. I don't want to see anybody beat anybody on the field, but you know, it can be a great final game for the two teams.
Fortunately, we won't see that. The first game between those teams has been a blockbuster one. France actually won the first matchup 11-10 in overtime.
We just saw the first huge push from Portugal, number 92, pushing a France attacker into the goal.
That is Owen Warlow. He's one of the players that doesn't go too far from the scrums. But now a block pass by that's Tyler Cruz. Now pressuring the ball carrier.
Oh, it's a little high. He went for the head.
And Johan
still not a penalty for the refs.
That's not Johan Mayo, that's Joseph Varela, one of the assistant captains for this Portuguese roster. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that the ball is on the other side of the pitch. But France just made the 10-second violation now. Dominique Sandy.
If I heard right, the ref said 9. So they waited till the last second. Portugal just were as confused as you, just hasn't sent any offensive player on the field.
No, a miss pass on, that was Louis Arbord who didn't handle the pass. That was probably Jack Teron, who was on the top of the key for France. But now Portugal with, they arrived to the tournament with 16 runners and only one goalie in Sean Medeiros, who is, as always, standing in between the three pipes for Portugal. But also they are missing 2 runners. Pedro Gomes, also a big transition guy, but also Noah Rosa. But now a first goal for Portugal! And that's Pedro Nunes. He has been a quarterback for Portugal so far in this tournament, but now he scores the first one, and the Portuguese bench, as you can see in very low numbers as we spoke moments ago, is now juiced up as Pedro Nunes scores the first one for Portugal.
That's his second goal of the tournament, already gave 5 assists so far. Finally find the back of the net for the second time in the tournament.
We spoke about Sean Medeiros. in between the three pipes for Portugal. On the other side, we got Nathan Delorme stepping up in the French cage.
Yeah, they mostly used Mathieu Coudreau in 6 games. He saved 126 shots, letting in 48. Now he is standing with 72%. Why? Nathan Delorme only played in 4 games.
And now a big shot! Sorry to interrupt you, Balázs, but what a shot! That was Justin Cruz. As we spoke about the last matchup against France, he was the one who scored 8 goals in the French cage, and maybe he has just started another scoring streak against the French netminders.
You know what's funny with that? So he scored that many goals, almost all individual effort with no assists, so it was a one-man show, but in the overtime, he couldn't touch the ball at all.
Now Gilles Derungs and France, again in front of Medeiros, Arbot back to Derungs. On the top of the key, that's Callaway. Now Jack Thuron sweeps over, tries to get his shot off, but Sean Medeiros gets one of his first touches on the ball and sends Ethan Toguri for the run in front of Delorme. Oh, big ground ball. Coming back was Benjamin Gerstner. Now he is looking for someone to pass to for some outlet. Ends it out for Varela. Up to Arbo. Right hand side to that's Teron. Gilles Cly is the one who doesn't handle a pass. Swings it up to the other Gilles. Derungs. And now, as we spoke about the scrums, that was Varela that got tangled up against Ethan Warlow. So the Warlow brothers are big guys and aren't going any far from any contact.
I'm still surprised we haven't seen any penalties so far from Portugal.
The other way goes Austin College, the captain for Portugal. Big shot by Brendan Pereira. But the 30 shot clock runs out. And the other way goes Castera. And a big hit. That was Ethan Warlow. No, it was Owen Warlow. And now again a big hit with the loose ball. And the other way goes Francisco Coutinho.
Coutinho is a famous name in football. Hopefully he tried to live up to that fame here at Lacrosse.
Just giving out his own brand, you know. Now back
the Lex Coutinho.
Now that's Austin College who fired one against Delorme, but one of the Portuguese attackers stepped into the crease. So we're going back the other way with Dominic Sandy now on the ball. Big shot and Sean Medeiros gobbles it. Looks for someone to pass to. But now loose ball. It has been from Arbot and over the halfway line. And now loose ball battle. Picked up.
I think we are going to see so many ground balls, loose balls.
Justin Cruz and his rocket from far out.
A headshot again.
I think Justin Cruz will make a pins like in bowling out of the French defense, as he will shoot a lot of shots from far out, but don't let his posture fool you. He has a very fast legs and can take anyone on a 1v1. So now Louis Arbord and France in front of Sean Medeiros. Derung gets the two-man game with Arbord, goes inside, and the first goal for France. Textbook two-man play, and Louis Arbord finds the net for the first time for France.
Perfect game, perfect play for Arbord. Getting loose from the defender, he's free. Cuts inside, and beat the keeper in the near side. That was his 10th goal of the tournament so far, already gave 6 assists. One of the better players for France.
And also joins Thomas Dalebou, who is in for the Team France with a Native American background because his dad is a Mohawk. 2 Native American. So now 10 seconds on the shot clock for Portugal. Austin College, big shot from the angle, but misses the goal entirely. And we're going back over the half line and back in front of Sharon Medeiros.
Now Arbo scored a double digit only, as you mentioned. Thomas Dalebou has double digit too, scoring 14, the best so far, assisting also 6. Jack Theron could be the next one, who has 9 goals already.
Almost got his chance, but a big block by Ethan Warlow stops him from scoring the 10th goal. And the other way goes Justin Cruz. And a big shot and left the marker on the post of Delorme.
It could have been a goalie assist early in the game. Nice Hail Mary pass.
But Sean Medeiros already gave out some apples, no? Let's see. I think he has been able to assist some goals. But now a big save against Joseph Varela. Looks for his outlet, and there goes Austin College.
Portugal first played against Scotland, only scored 3 goals, then played against Switzerland. It was a little bit better, scoring 7 times, only conceding 15. Then another loss from Slovakia, but at least they scored 7 times also. And that's how they ended up here, not counting in the game between them.
But also for Portugal, as one of the newer box lacrosse programs on the European scene, it's just it has to be just such an honor playing against those teams that have been playing box lacrosse for so long, such as Slovakia. Now we're back with them in the attack. That's Pedro Nunes. Pass it up to Vasconcelos, down to Austin College. Gets the pick from Justin Cruz. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Try to muscle his way through, try to flip it to Justin Cruz, but the ball goes loose and the shot clock is winding down. And the other way goes Louis Hamon.
France lost to Switzerland and Slovakia and Scotland also. And Norway beat them 18-9.
Now France back in front of Sean Medeiros, Joseph Varela. Big forecheck by the Portuguese defense. Undergoes Callaway.
Another huge push.
And a broken stick. And we are heading into our first quarter timeout. So we're going to be back something over a minute with the first half action. Back at Jižní Město with the first quarter action. France in the attack. So far, Portugal has a little upper hand with the 1-goal lead. The France can change it now. Louis Arpot finds Jack Theron. Tries to take on a Tyler Cruz pick, but now big hit by Owen Warlow. Just big defenders pay off for Portugal. But now a big shot by Gilles Claude.
Another huge hit.
Big hit, so France will retain the ball. But I think that the shot before that was on Medeiros, so the clock should be resetted. But anyways, we're in front of Medeiros. Callaway tried to find Arbord, but ball trickled off the stick of Tyler Cruz. Now Gilles Derung gets the big shot, but just over the mark. And we're going back the other way.
France played their first 3 games here at Jižní Město, then went to Malašice and 2 games at Radotín, framing their tournament, finishing here at Jižní Město, while Portugal only played once in Malašice, twice in Radotín, and that's the 3rd time here at Jižní Město.
But also, as we spoke about the first matchup, the 11-10 overtime win for France. Forget that for now. That's another goal for Justin Cruz. Again, just took his defender under and had Austin College for the help. And just a big finish on the far post, and Delorme simply didn't have the hands on that. So we began at the face-off dot, picked up by Vasconcelos, fighting off big checks from the French players. But now it's picked off by France. Gaëtan Hermon passes it off to Louis Arbord.
It's not surprising that Portugal playing that physical, hitting everybody everywhere as big as they can on the field. Sometimes newer or smaller teams play style that. Oh, what a post from Theron.
And now a big chance from Louis Arbord, but there has been a crease call called. We're getting back in the... Yeah, okay, so now we're good. And Austin College can begin yet another offensive action for Portugal. So far they have the upper hand. And there was a big chance for Justin Cruz, completely unnoticed by either one of the 5 defenders standing in the defensive position. But as you can see, Justin Cruz is just a shooter. 17 goals and just only 1 assist. But we're going the other way. Louis Arbord fires one for France.
Finds a 5-hole again. That's a trademark goal here at Jižní Město. A 1-goal game between them. It's gonna happen again, I think.
What we would want more than just another overtime game in the last place, so-called game in the men's division. There will be everything to fight for. Louis Arbord again. Now close defense. Now Jack Theron flips it off for Diabo! And as we spoke about, number 77, he now clears the cobwebs in the upper 90, and Thomas Diabo scores his first one of today.
Now that they are double the amount of goal what they scored in the first period of the first game, where Portugal were leading by 2-1, and still a little more than 3 minutes remaining.
So this could be like the offensive burst, and then we could get several defensive shifts without scoring any goals. Everybody knows about the quality of goalkeeping of Sean Medeiros. Also Delorme and Coudreau, who is now the second choice goalkeeper for France for this game, are capable of doing that. But the other way goes Gaëtan Hermon in front of Medeiros, but he closes the 5-hole.
Another great try on a transition. but it not always works to go for the 5-hole, but still a warning sign for Portugal. They need to be really quick at changes.
Again, a big shot by Justin Cruz from far out, and it went behind Delorme. Now a big bounce shot by Kalish, but now back into the crease call by one of the officiates. We didn't mention them yet. Trent Bray, the head referee for today's game, and the other two are Alyssa Hibben and Danielle Hagen. Now Pedro Nunes, low to low shot. Justin Cruz face dodge, goes into traffic, and a big save by Delorme, and another big save. Good double save sequence by Nathan Delorme.
Delorme is the reason why we are still tied at 3-3. Sometimes the French defenders just freezes and waiting for the Portugal players to pick up the ball. It's so strange. It's a different type of play, of course. Ooh, double bounce over the shoulder and the crossbar.
Now the same kind of save on Sean Medeiros, also keeping the score tied.
So I think French lacking of physical play in defense and their offense too. They don't need to be as hard as Portugal are so many times, but if you're not hitting the opponent, if you not make any contact, especially in defense, you're gonna lose the game.
But now a helmet shot. Jesus Christ! Luckily, not giving Delorme a concussion. But we're going the other way. The French netminder looks all right.
That's why they wear a helmet.
If they wouldn't wear a helmet, everybody will be bleeding everywhere. Jake Theron, Marcelinho tries to Marcelinho his way through Arlo. Oh. Now Jamie Calloway. And that was a twisting shovel shot, or how should I call it? But now Derung and Sean Medeiros again stepping up for Portugal as we have less than 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and Portugal will now look forward to firing them ahead before the first intermission. Now that's Austin Kalish. Points for Vasconcelos, up to Justin Cruz. 5 seconds.
Finally some hits from the French defenders.
And that was a shot off against Delorme as the clock winds down. And we are heading into our first short intermission here at Jižní Město. The 17th place game between Portugal and France so far, tied at 3. We're going to be back in 2 minutes. We're heading back into the action, specifically in the second quarter here at Jižní Město. The score is so far tied between Portugal and France. Portugal came out of the gate swinging, but France answered with some massive goals. And so, as I said, the score is so far tied at 3. André Gisal and Balashalkai at the commentary booth. And we're back with France in the attack. Jack Theron.
Surprisingly, Moreira almost won their face-offs, winning 5 from 7 occasions. Justin Cruz with 2 goals and 1 assist so far. Louis Arbo with a brace for a French side.
So we have 2 players on the hat-trick watch. Now Portugal will try to settle in the attack. That's Calisto. Pass it on to Kalish. Tries to find Pedro Nunes. Big shot, but just in the chest of Nathan Delorme. And back into the crease call against France. So Portugal will get another 30 seconds to work with. Justin Cruz down to Austin Kalish. Back up to Cruz. Calisto on the other side. Down to Pedro Nunes. Over to Justin Cruz, gets his pick, and he goes to the traffic! That's a hat-trick for Justin Cruz.
Another one-man show so far. Cruz scoring his third goal. Waiting for the replay. Nice fake and going for the far side.
Yeah, and a big work by Austin Kalish, just getting the player of Cruz out of his way, and then Cruz with the big fake. Delorme got on his knees, and the rest of the goal was pretty much wide open, and Vasconcelos with his fast legs breaking ankles all over the place. Austin Kalish back down to Justin Cruz. Up to Vasconcelos. Pedro Nunes. Dominic Sandy defending him. Big feed to Austin Kalish, shovel shot. Interesting try and the penalty against Portugal. Austin Kalish is pretty confused with the reason of penalty, but I'm pretty sure that everybody knows why. He will be heading to the penalty box. Almost jinxed it because Thomas Diabu was going from the bench and got the pass from Dominic Sandy. But now we are going with the Portuguese captain towards the penalty box.
Surprisingly, this is the first power play and the first penalty today. The last game, they collected so many points from penalty minutes from cross-checking. France had 12 minutes and Portugal had 10 at the game.
It was a pretty scrappy one. But we're back in front of Medeiros. As Balash said, the first power play for France. But Gilles Derunc was not looking under his legs and stepped into the crease of Medeiros. So we're now with Louis Vasconcelos on the ball. Big check thrown by Arbon. But now flipped off.
It was a pass to nowhere, but a little slow play from Arbo. But you see, what I wanted to tell you that France collected 43 minors and 1 major. 101 minutes total, while Portugal collected 34 minor and 3 majors. 103 minutes total in the tournament.
So we have one of the worst teams in case of penalties. The best, the top 3 in that case is Israel, Switzerland and Italy. Now France back in the attack mode. Big shot. That was Joseph Varela.
Speaking of penalties, I had the chance to cover Italy one time, and 66 minors and 5 majors, almost double the number of the next team.
But now Sean Medeiros again does his magic and saves it from Jack Theron from up close. But the second try pays off for Jack Theron, who now equalizes it for France.
First power play goal of the day, scoring their opportunity. Went to the 5-hole once again. France 1-on-1 on power play. No, it's near side.
It seemed to me that Medeiros didn't even notice the pass to Jack Theron at first, so he was a bit late on going to the other side, and that's the reason why, one of the reasons why Jack Theron now equalizes it for France, and we have a game on our hands. Now Jack Theron, another big shot, but now Sean Medeiros gets the better of him. Looking for his outlet, but everybody from the Portuguese team is running towards the bench. Now Austin College just beats the 10-second violation, gets pressured.
Nice move, all alone, and he scores! What an individual play.
And Austin College has some words. I don't know if it was against Lester Salmons, who had him first, but also Camille Castera, who pushed him initially in the crease. And after that, Austin College again scores for Portugal, and it's goal number 5 in behind Nathan Delorme. Now Portugal winning yet another face-off. Justin Cruz, the only guy with the hat-trick so far. Pass it off to Pedro Nunes on the left-hand side. Has Callisto for the two-man play. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Vasconcelos on the top. Justin Cruz, big save by Nathan Delorme. But now again picked off by Justin Cruz. And as if you were watching the previous streams, you can tell that the tempo of this game is pretty much slower than the game between Norway and Belgium.
Oh, huge misunderstanding from the French defenders waiting to each other. And it was a wide open opportunity for Portugal thanks to the great save. It's only a 1-goal game.
Now Johan Maillot tried his luck with his red bandana coming out of the back of his helmet. Pretty noticeable player on the French side. Tried to look for 5-hole of Medeiros, but everything's good for Portugal. So we're going back in front of Delorme. Now that's Callisto. Passing it off to Pedro Nunes. Dominic Sandy back in the defense. Also one of the more versatile players as playing in offense and in defense as well. As you can see, he had his defensive shift, but now he is playing on the right-hand side with Thomas Daebu, as he now handles the ball, pass it off to the top key to Arbol, down to Gilles Darung. Two-man game with Arbol, trying to go 5-hole, but now a big save by Medeiros as the shot clock resets, and a big find to Thomas Daebu.
But apart from that mistake, finally the offensive side of France came alive, showing some life signs, better passes, more shots. Still a couple of mistakes from each side, but that's the reason why they're playing for the 17th place. Yeah, the tempo is different, what you mentioned, especially the other game we had just right before, clash between Belgium and Norway for the 9th place.
Justin Cruz, you are a sick man. Literally muscling his way through.
We know that sometimes the round shape helps you to roll over defenders. A perfect delivery for another one-man show, highlights real goal, turning 1, turning 2, and beating the keeper on the near side.
Just an unbelievable effort by number 89, as he's now approaching his his record in goals scored in one game, as he scored 8 goals against the same opponent.
He already has 20 goals so far. If he continue like this, he might reach John King.
If he has 4 goals in the half of the second quarter, he could be like on 12 goals or something. Now the other way goes Tyler Cruz, but that's called as a ward.
It's a one-handed push to keep the defender away.
That's the first called ward in the tournament as I've seen it. But now a big flip-off by Theron to Jamie Calloway. But again, Sean Medeiros holding up the hope for Portugal for finishing at the 17th place. Now, back Justin Cruz in the attack mode, but what a robbery by Nathan Delorme. With Justin Cruz.
So good with the ball, with a pretty hard pickup almost from the ground. It was a pretty bad pass from the teammate, but it was no problem for Cruz. But too many fakes at the end.
Callisto getting his look in the middle of the field! And Portugal's juiced up! Steven Callisto! The second shots will go right from the rebound. Steven Callisto finds the near pipe and fires Portugal 3 goals ahead.
3 goals scored unanswered from the Portugal side. Kolic, Cruz and Callisto, a triple C.
That's also, wait, that's the game graphic. Is it his first goal of the tournament?
If you give me a second, I can tell you.
Let's see, because the whole Portuguese bench and also the crowd as well. The crowd of 3 fans, but
yeah, that was his first goal of the tournament. He already gave 2 assists, but that's the time when you score your first goal in the last game.
They should get him the game ball as well. As we're now heading with 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the second quarter into our second commercial intermission. We're going to be back.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world.
Five minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the second quarter of the 17th place placement game between France and Portugal. And the team now playing in white and maroon details now has a little upper hand, was on a little run as they are now leading by 3 goals.
After a tie, fourth period, Portugal outscoring France 4-1. Their biggest lead here and even more.
That's what Justin Cruz basically does. Is that his 5th?
It is.
It might have been. So it's the 5th one for Justin Cruz. And we are only 20 minutes into the game. If he continues to score like this, he can score 15 goals. That's just madness.
Technically 25, but it's still amazing.
We almost got killed in the commentary booth as Sean Medeiros tried to kill us. If you're watching this, Sean, I know that you didn't mean to do that. Big shout out to Sean Medeiros for stepping up for Portugal, playing all of the 7 or 8 games that Portugal played throughout the tournament. Now, big pass in the traffic for France, as now Owen Warlow tried to find his brother Ethan. He thought he was going to the attack, but now the loose ball picked up. Again, that was Mayot. Passed it off to Sandy. And now Thomas Diabu. Jector on. Up to Louis Arbor. Down to Gilles Derung. And a big save by Medeiros as he gobbles it. And there's an extracurriculars going after the shot clock.
Arbo said enough. He finally hit a Portugal player back. And the good thing, we've seen some momentum from the French side. They still only scored 1 goal in the second period.
Yeah, Tyler Cruz just made a little fun out of Diabu. Just a soft bounce pass. As they are playing their last game of the tournament, so as we said with Balash earlier in the day, anything can happen in the last games of those teams at the tournament. But now a collision between Callaway and that's Brendan Pereira off the camera. Now Thomas Diabu getting his pick, tries to get his look and fires it just over the crossbar. He gets his own rebound and a jump shot and a delayed penalty against Portugal. Loose ball picked up by Diabu, now pressured by Coutinho, slips. And Diabu tried to twist it on the far side, but we are now getting another penalty, as I believe it's Easton Taguri who is now going to the penalty box as signaled by one of the officials for holding. So now a minor against Portugal, and one of the chances for France to do something with the score and maybe for them cutting the goal difference to 3. As now we have Louis Arbor on the top of the key with the ball. Pass it off to Teron. Back to Arbor. Gets his look, bounce shot, which goes straight over the halfway line and hit after the whistle.
That was a revenge on Arbo.
Now loose ball picked up by Vasconcelos as they have 30 seconds to work with. Pedro Nunes now killing some of the seconds of the penalty for Portugal. Handling it, pass it off to Kalish. Down to Justin Cruz. Has Sandy and Salmins against him. Big handle by Justin Cruz here. Almost got the shot off, but in the most important moment, he lost it. So the other way goes Dominique Sandy and France with the power play. Dominique Sandy holds it off against Tyler Cruz.
A minute left from the power play. France has to do something with it. A little more than 2 minutes remaining in the second period. And as I said it,
as you said it, Josep Varela uses the power play for France and cuts the Portuguese lead to 3. And again, pretty static defense by Portugal. Josep Varela has a lot of space to get the big wind up and fires it on the far post of Sean Medeiros. As Portugal is now ahead only by 3 goals. And now the face-off scrum on the boards next to the scorekeepers, picked up by Vasconcelos. But now a big scrum off the ball. But that's Hermon who got out of the scrum, victorious.
A huge challenge from the ref, try to control the players just next to the board.
He knows that that this game could be chippy and there could be some extracurriculars between those two teams. Big shot, but a save of Sean Medeiros. And now Francisco Coutinho. Checked off into the stick of Medeiros. And Pedro Nunes caught it just before the 10-second violation against Portugal. And France goes the other way as we are approaching the last minute of the first half.
That's a much needed offense for France, which was wasted.
Thomas Daibu.
Sorry, you can finish it.
Thomas Daibu actually got a shot off against Medeiros. It trickled in between his legs and it rolled on the goal line. Luckily for the Portuguese goalkeeper. But again, in the aftermath of the camera, and Justin Cruz is now on all of his fours.
That could be a really huge blowout if they lose Cruz. It can be a different game if he is not really okay with that. He just took his helmet off. Medicals are there. Hopefully he's okay, but you know, it can change the game. Just a couple of players scored more than Cruz. John King has the most goals scored player. So he has scored the most goals. Sorry, this is the last game for us. A little tricky. So 33 goals next to his name, followed by Sam Postma with 28. Matthew Giskiewicz with 27, the top three. Cruz has 21 goals so far. He seems all right. He's a big guy. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
Both of the Cruz brothers just big postures and big guys, so we know that Justin will shake it off, as Taylor Swift would say.
Another Swiftie next to me.
Fortunately, I'm not a Swiftie.
All the Swifties say that for the first time.
That they're not Swifties?
Yes.
Now Louis Arbon up to Callaway. Big shot, but saved by Medeiros. Picked up by Daibu just off the mark. And the other way, that's Ethan Warlow. Pushes Callaway away. Doesn't go after the ball at all. He just wants the number 20, the number 32.
And he just surprised. I don't know about what.
I just noticed. Another save by Medeiros. I just noticed a small detail on Callaway's jersey, that on the back of his jersey and on the right sleeve, there's number 32, but on the left sleeve, there's number 23. That could be a little confusing for us. But anyways, the first half buzzer sounds as now we're heading into the locker rooms. Portugal, so far, has a little upper hand against France as they now lead by 3 goals, 8-5. We're going into our halftime break, and we are going to be back in less than 12 minutes with the second half of our last game here at the European Box Lacrosse Championships at Jižní Město. So see you soon. We are back with the second half action here at Jižní Město for, as I mentioned earlier, the last game here at this venue of European Box Lacrosse Championships 2026. France and Portugal are facing off for 17th place to finish in this tournament.
That's a little bit different story what happened in their first matchup. Outscoring already almost the full-time result. Scoring 3-3 in the first, and Portugal was a little bit better in the second, scoring 5, only conceding twice. And you know, the 2 goals came from power plays, but at least the power play unit is 100% perfect on the French side.
I think that could help them moving forward through the game, as if Portugal will give out cheap penalties. But who knows? They may be disciplined, and
much better discipline. We were waiting for a huge, dirty penalty after penalty. You know, that's that type of game when they are just not holding back. They had like quite a few chat before this game, couple of days ago, when Portugal played, I think Switzerland maybe, and the French team, or what was it, not for Switzerland? Okay, it's not that important, but the French team was on the stands, always trying to make an eye contact and communication with the Portugal players. And the biggest problem for France is their shot selection and accuracy.
Yeah, but there were some shots on the near post, some shots in the 5-hole, but so far Sean Medeiros has been really good in this game. But now I almost jinxed it again, as De Rungs was trying to feed Sandy. Now big shot from Gilles Clare, but the ball goes all the way to the other side.
As we mentioned, you see they had like 3 shots, but 1 went on goal, 2 went wide. That's the biggest problem for France so far.
As you were mentioning, the games in the 15th bracket, which we are now in, the semi-finals for this game, France actually lost by 1 goal against Wales, which was Wales' first win of the tournament.
And their first ever win in an official tournament.
In an official international box lacrosse tournament, so we have it with the whole way. On the other hand, Portugal lost their game against Slovakia 13-9. That was the game with the infamous bite from one of the Portuguese defenders.
If you have any chance to find it on Instagram, check it, because the player shared the picture about the mark which was left after a bite.
So we are heading back into the action with France in front of Sean Medeiros. Now, Thomas Daibu was trying to find Joseph Varela, who was cutting on the far post. But now again, some extracurriculars.
Oh, he forgot that he's all alone.
And Vasconcelos didn't take the chance initially.
And we see a goalie change. So now Mathieu Coudreau in between the post for France. That was his first save of the game.
And we have a delay penalty against France. And it's another call initiated, but now a call against, yeah, that's number 9, as I mentioned him, Johan Mayo, going to the penalty box for cross-check.
That's the first penalty on France.
So Portugal with their first power play of the game so far. Austin Kalish, Justin Cruz, Louis Vasconcelos, and on the other side we have Calisto and Pedro Nunes. So down to Vasconcelos, back to Justin Cruz. Notched up 5 games so far in this, 5 goals in this game so far. Now loose ball after mishandled pass, picked up by Justin Cruz. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Justin Cruz makes his way on the top key, but good save by Mathieu Coudriot. Stepping up for the second half of France in between the three pipes.
Mathieu Coudreau, as I mentioned in the beginning of the game, he is the best goalkeeper for France. He played most of the games, but it's not unusual to change their goalie in every half. But mostly Mathieu Coudreau was the main keeper.
Yeah, but basically for every team that has more than one goalkeeper, such as Portugal, is a big thing that they can switch between those two netminders, that they have a similar save percentage. Now big shot from Justin Cruz, tried to twist it yet again on the far post, but the ball rolls after his shot in front of Medeiros.
Just an important information for all the viewers. If you like women lacrosse, if you like championship games, the clash between Israel and Germany is in the second period. The score is 1-1. Hesse Telf scored in the first period, assisted by Dressendorfer. And just 43 seconds in the second period, Hanna Hilkov. Ooh!
We're in danger.
Hanna Hilkov equalized thanks to the assist of Rachel Rosen. So championship game in Radotin running right now. The first ever European Championship final between Israel and Germany. But if you want to see the 15th placement game, stay tuned here.
As now we're heading back in front of Medeiros. Louis Arbot, big shot, picks it up his own rebound. Flips it off for Thomas Dalabo!
Short-handed goal just right before the penalty expires. 4 seconds remaining on that, and it's a 3-goal game.
And we were speaking about the physicality of Portugal, but the two players that were going after Arbot, that being Warlow and Amador.
Sorry, it's a 2-goal game exactly.
Just this Portuguese defense so passive. Even they are on they were on the power play. They got scored on, but by Thomas Daibu, who now scores his second. Now
in the last matchup, the third period was the best for France, outscoring Portugal 5-3.
No, he squeezes it! And Jack Theron with the volley under the defense of Portugal. Squeezes one past Sean Medeiros and makes it a 1-goal game.
It's already 2-0 to France in the first 5 minutes of the third period. Finally waking up from a little sleep in the second period of the game.
Cleaning crew just making sure that nobody will slip on this surface here at Jižní Město. As we mentioned many times, Jižní Město, in difference with Malešice and Radotín, have a normal rubber gym-like surface, and Radotín and Malešice have the artificial turf, which can be a pretty big difference if you're playing your first game in this arena, except of those teams that are already playing their third. For Portugal and for France, I think that it's also their third. So back in front of Mathieu Coudriot. Big shot by Pedro Nunes from distance, but he pretty much gobbles it. And the other way goes France.
It's maybe in favor of France because they played their first 3 games here at Jižní Město. They went to Malešice, played 2 games in Radotín, and that's their last game here. Also, their second and third game for Portugal was here at Jižní Město. They also went to Malešice once. So all the teams, what we've seen so far, played in every venue.
Which is good for them, so they can feel every surface, they can see every venue, see every atmosphere. Pedro Nunes, big shot over the defender. That was
Nice leg
Johan
save
Mayer.
from Kudrow.
And rebound gets to Castillo. Cruz goes under for Brendan Pereira. But again, Kudrow gobbles it. And so far he has been perfect for France and Cage.
You feel the difference when he is in the post. I don't want to say the other keeper is not that good. Salmins did great in the first half, but you feel a little more from Kudrow.
Now a loose ball picked up by Coutinho. Dodges a lot of forecheck. Decides to take it on himself. But big checks from France. But Coutinho deals with the pressure and passes it off to his offensive colleagues. That's Luis Vasconcelos. Justin Cruz looking for his 6th. Two-man game, but just back into the chest of Kudrow. And Portugal doesn't seem to have that much of a confidence as in the first half when they were getting looks right in front of the crease of Delorme. But now for me, they're a little bit scared going into the traffic. Nice save by Sean Medeiros in the process, but a loose ball. And also they're not picking up the loose balls after French shots, which could be a pretty big factor.
Looking at them, I've seen a little difference in physical attributes. Maybe that's the problem. They a little bit tired after kind of like a high pace for them, not for the rest of the tournament, but for them. And it's maybe a difference between the two teams. And the French defense drew the line higher in the second half. You'll see they are on the restraining line.
Now the other way, heading France. Big shot, that's Castera. And a big body afterwards, that was Gregory Moreira. Now again, pressure on Vasconcelos, but just a quick poke check. And France back in the defensive positions. Now just a dozen of seconds to go. Austin College holding off his man, flips it off for Justin Cruz on the crease, and the goal is waved off. Lisa Hibbon waves it off against Portugal as Cruz would have get his 6th of the game already.
It was a fluid play for 2.5 minutes first time here, and I think it's really unique and outstanding in box lacrosse. 2.5 minutes without any whistle.
And the officials are signaling yet another commercial break here at the 3rd quarter, so we're going to be back in a minute.
Pivo z rodinného pivovaru, kde řemeslo a tradice jdou ruku v ruce.
Back with something over 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Portugal leading so far, but France have scored 2 fast goals to cut the lead just to 1. And Portugal will now have a chance to get back in the 2-goal lead. deflected pass that was going for Austin College, but picked up now by Johan Mayotte and finds Lester Salmins, but the ball's loose, and Vasconcelos now handling it for Portugal again.
Portugal couldn't score in the third period so far. They need to do something different. We were talking about that. You see the French defending line is just shy to the restraining line. They are in the neutral zone in the middle mostly. That's maybe the bigger difference what they did in the first half. A little break for cleaning the field. And the other problem is for the Portugal side, they were just giving up their opportunities, or I don't know what can be. So what happened in the first half when they started to play as they wanted? They were so aggressive, they were so physical, better shot selection, they just tried one-on-one situations, but since then they just like pulling off your leg from the gas pedal.
Yeah, because France is in their defensive position, but they are so far out on the players, and the only recipe right now can be the far shots if they can get it on the cage.
But you should have really accurate shooters for the long range shots taken downtown. It's not easy. You see, because we see Belgium, Norway, or higher seeded teams. Sometimes you forget how hard to go through the goal.
And in aftermath, Thomas Daibu gets on top of Tyler Cruz as he scores the equalizer for France. But I think that the referees are now discussing okay.
It was a hit from behind, first of all. We see a nice skip pass from Arbo behind the defensive line, and the great cuts inside goal.
But then I don't understand why Thomas Daibu is now going to the penalty box and Tyler Cruz isn't.
Yeah,
that wasn't Tyler Cruz.
I think they just missed it. So two Portuguese defenders hit him from behind late, and only Thomas Daibu sitting out. No, that was his goal, and he's sitting out for 2 minutes.
He notches his hat trick right now as he's now serving the penalty for France, and Louis Arbor and the others now on the field will now try to hold up and kill some seconds from the penalty, as France still has the possession of the ball.
That's a huge turnaround in the game. Portugal scored 4 times in a row, and since then only France scored also 4 times.
Now Louis Arbor was trying to go underneath the whole Portuguese defense, but the clock winds out as he didn't get the rubber on the cage, as we're now heading back in front of Mathieu Coudriot.
Little more than 3 minutes remaining for Portugal to find their first goal in the third period. Maybe Coudriot is the difference, the biggest difference from the first half.
And not just in the defensive aspect, he also gives something to the offense as well. Now a big shot by Pedro Nunes, but again, as we spoke about him, Coudriot saves France from being down again. And now a pick-off by Owen Marlowe.
It's going to be Portugal's penalty.
Too many players?
Too many players. What a mistake by the bench. 51 seconds was remaining on the penalty, but it's a big mistake. So for 51 seconds, 4-on-4 on the field, and for a little more than a minute, it's going to be a power play for France.
As you can see, France used 2 out of their 3 power plays. Portugal so far waiting for their first usage of the power play. Now Gilles Deron.
It was illegal substitution.
Tries to go under.
Oh, that's
Warlow.
another penalty coming up.
And that's a hold by Ethan Warlow.
Knights 4-on-3 is getting worse and worse for Portugal. These are really unnecessary mistakes.
Yeah, if he goes past, you just give the forecheck a chance, but don't hold him like that.
He was really at the doorstep. A 4-on-3 for 24 seconds.
Then we will be for the something over minute, as you mentioned, with 4-on-4.
Behind the back. Oh, ricochet off the stick of one of the French guys.
But now Medeiros back again with the ball in his stick. Finds Luis Vasconcelos.
Now it's a 5-on-3.
And as he runs with the ball, he complains to the referee that he has been hit to the helmet. Sorry, it's not it's a 4-on-4. It's now 5-on-3 against Portugal.
That's what I said. No problem. Huge hit, but a crease violation. This is the first real chance for France to do something with a 5-on-3, 38 seconds remaining in the first penalty. Now it's 1 minute on the second. So they have 30 seconds to capitalize on the first opportunity. A little bit slow from Arbo.
And something over a minute to go in the third quarter. Big save by Medeiros. Wide shot, and now a loose ball in the corner. Arbo has to get the shot out, but he handles it until the 30-second shot clock was expired. And now Medeiros will be looking for his outlet. Pedro Nunes comes for the help.
2 seconds on the first. Now it's a 5-on-4 for 24 seconds.
Now Gregory Moreira sprints to the bench to get subbed off for Castillo. 10 seconds on the shot clock and 25 seconds on the game clock as we're heading to the end of the third quarter. Castillo just chucked the ball into the corner as it rebounds for France. Just a dozen of seconds to go. And a big check by Ethan Warlow.
Lack of communication for the French team. And a penalty coming up on them. A total disaster. 5-on-3, 5-on-4, and now they are man down. A second remaining in the first period.
France will now have to stack all of their 5 players into the cage of Kudryas, so they will make sure that they won't concede in this third period, because Austin College will be starting with the ball, and he has a hell of a shot.
It's not.
Yeah, look at the French players now standing on the crease. Yeah, but he will just only hold it. I think he didn't know with his expression. As we're now heading into the last quarter intermission with less than 2 minutes, we will be back with the second half action here from Jižní Město.
We are back after the break. As we see, everything is almost even. The most important measurement, of course, the goals are even. A little less shot on goal from Portugal. It was even in the first period with a 3-3. The second period was Portugal's period with a 5-2, and it's French period in the third, 3-0. So what can come in the fourth? Another tie period and overtime?
How
finish,
else can you end this European Championship as we are with somebody new on the stream, possibly? This is the 17th place game between Portugal and France. Very up and down. One quarter led by Portugal, the other by France. But so far, France with the momentum, and Mathieu Coudriot, since coming in between the three pipes for France.
He still has a clean sheet so far, which is outstanding. And don't forget, it's Portugal's power play.
And a big shot! Josep Varela from nothing to something! The assistant captain gives France their lead.
That's the second short-handed goal for France in this game.
And it's also the first lead of France in this game in total. But again, Josep Varela with his signature low to low. Have yourselves a day, number 19. Heading back to the face-off dot. Coutinho, and that's Lester Salmins, the captain for France. Now a ground ball picked up by Luis Vasconcelos. Gets it off.
Just a big if. If this quarter ends in 2-2, we match the same score what happened in their first matchup, and it's going to be everything same. And it's, I think, if history repeats itself, or maybe another team can score in
That's
the overtime,
one.
that's a different story. Who else? Finally a power play goal for Portugal.
And also Justin Cruz scoring his 6th.
He scored 8 goals in the first game to reach nothing at the end. Now he has 6. And the first goal conceded for Coudreau.
But now a big check from, I don't know if it was Salmins or Theron. Anyways, France again in the attack, and Tyler Cruz having some extracurriculars with that is Jamie Callaway, who ended up on the boards. He now passed it up to Josep Varela. Passed it off to Thomas Dayebu, twists it, and a big stop by Sean Medeiros. Now back, the ground ball gobbled up by Theron on the left-hand side, now with Louis Arbor. Finds Dayebu behind the goal, quarterbacks it to Theron.
Oh,
back
what a
in
play.
front of Arbor, and nobody on number 22 in blue. But Sean Medeiros again steps up for Portugal.
Great triangle for France, but another bad shot from Orbo. They just shooting the ball to the body of the keeper.
As you said earlier in the game. The third same shot. Josep Varela, copy and paste. Make it 9-9. 9-10. It's 9-10.
Yeah.
France is ahead again, and Josep Varela gets 3 copy and paste goals. Absolutely same release point, absolutely same placement. And France is getting the lead for the second time in this game. Luis Vasconcelos finds Austin College. They will be looking for equalizing the score again. Austin College still handling the ball. Now to the left-hand side, Pedro Nunes. Lester Salmins getting on to him. Ball back up top for Vasconcelos. Down for Brendan Pereira, unblocked.
Oh,
There was
that
Sebastian
hurts.
Seymour.
that hurts.
He will now wobble to the French bench, as you like to see that, the spirit of a warrior. Sebastian Seymour putting his body on the line for France. No, big forecheck by Warlow. Big shot by Teron, and Medeiros was a little late with the leg pad, but a great save by him. Now loose ball picked up by France again. Gilles Derong, and a big goal!
What a celebration. I don't want to translate it. Hopefully kids not looking for that. But that's a sally for Theron. That's the first time 2-goal lead in a game for France. They're scoring at the right place at the right time. The second period is all about France so far.
They might be the first goal for Gilles Derong in the game. And it is, as you can see now on the graphic, he has his first goal in the game to 3 assists so far. Now back to Gilles Derong, but now a loose ball on the board. Big hit tried by Amador.
I think the Portugal team just got tired.
Yep.
They have the fewest number of runners. Already an injured player adding to their list. It can cause some problem at the end.
Yeah, Noah Rosa, the number 5, who was also playing for Team Portugal in this tournament. A huge name. And pretty good replacement by Justin Cruz, who was lately scoring on his will. But Portugal will have now a mountain to climb. But no, but the goal's good!
Poor Kodro. He couldn't find a ball. He tried to lay back, but it was too late. The slowest rolling goal what we have seen so far. The specialty for the placement game, even when you play for the 17th place here at the European Championship. Oh, he hit the ball in with his right elbow.
But that's the same thing that happened to Shawn Medeiros as well. It got under his
watch
arms.
out.
Now Luis Vasconcelos dealing with the pressure from Castera.
A little more than 10 minutes remaining from the game, and it's a 1-goal game once again.
Now Austin College flips it off for Pedro Nunes. Gets a pick from Castillo. Less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. Brendan Pereira will have his look. Long shot! He can't miss! Brendan Pereira equalizes it for Portugal at 11.
11-11. What a game. Outscoring the first matchup between them. Finally, Portugal find its way through Kudro for the second time in the game. And finally, that was a shot worth a goal.
Now a loose ball almost picked up by Callaway, but Luis Vasconcelos gets his hand on it. And will now wait for his offensive peers to come in the game. Justin Cruz is on a pace for his 7th goal in the game already. Now Pedro Nunes initiating up for Castillo. Back to number 14. He mishandles it. Pressure by Callaway. Now it's Austin College holding off his man!
Oh my God!
Austin College!
And he butt-hitted a French player. He'll be out. So stupid after the goal he scored. It was a beautiful bouncer.
Just an unlucky bounce in between the legs of Matej Kudryov, which now sends Portugal in the lead again.
From his right leg.
But Portugal can now sense it. They can sense it that they can win their rematch against France and get a little revenge. But as Austin College is now looking from his penalty box, France has a chance to equalize the score again. Arbord, Joseph Varela, back to De Jong. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
A
But he
crease
stepped
violation.
into the crease.
The special unit, the power play unit, is 100% perfect from two opportunities for France so far, and that's a big mistake. Oh my God!
Gilles De Jong, but there are too many players on the field for France.
Oh, another big mistake.
The bench is confused, but it was pretty obvious. 4 players on their defensive side, and there was Thomas Daibu and Gilles De Jong on the side in front of Medeiros. So this game, the best we could have
4 on 4
get.
for 2 minutes and 43 seconds, and will be a short power play for Portugal.
Now Justin Cruz observing, pass it up to Castillo. Left hand side, Pedro Nunes. Back up to number 12, down to Justin Cruz. Gets the pick from Luis Vasconcelos. To the left hand side to Pedro Nunes, big shot, but just in the leg pad of Mathieu Coudriot. And the other way goes France, and Gaetan Lom with the ball, clearing it out. Hands it off for Gilles Clar.
A big hit.
Now it's Lester Salmins. Gets it off for Jack Theron. Something over 30 seconds remaining on the Portuguese penalty. Big shot. Again, the same spot and the same release point for Joseph Varela.
It was so obvious from the Portugal bench. Stay at defense. Don't go through the half line. Stay back. Settle back. Wait till the penalty expires.
Now 5 seconds and Austin College will be released. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Now it's a shortened opportunity.
And an interesting shot by Gilles De Jong, which almost slipped through Medeiros. And Lissa Hebeln is now calling off the TV timeout, the commercial break. As we are heading into our last commercial break of the regular time, we will be back with the action. Without 5 seconds, 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter of this so far thrilling game between Portugal and France. Portugal with their power play as they now lead by 1 goal.
Another
Big
headshot
block
from Cruz.
That was Benjamin Gerstner, who was now fighting for the loose ball. Oh, and Castillo didn't make it for Austin College. But now a loose ball. Justin Cruz is going after it.
Full strength for Portugal.
And a big check made by Dominic Sandy. And that was a whistle because of the 30-second shot clock winded down. And referees were waving it off. But now we're back in front of Sean Medeiros. Thomas Daibu leaves it off for Jack Theron. Big shot from De Jongs! And the bounce shot touches the pipe of Medeiros. So France will get yet another 30 seconds. Thomas Daibu.
It's a 3-goal sequence so far from Portugal.
Now Gilles dunks! And the juice goal for France! Upper corner sweeped off by number 5. And the rebound went straight into his stick, and he sweeps off the top corner of goal of Sean Medeiros as he now equalizes it at 12.
Justin Cruz hasn't scored a goal in the second half of the game so far, scoring 6 in the first half. 12 all, 5 minutes 35 remaining.
Now an illegal pick against France called. So with something a little over 5.5 minutes remaining of this fourth quarter, France recently equalized the score at 12 against Portugal as we're heading into, as I said, the last 5.5 minutes of the game. Pedro Nunes up to Luis Vasconcelos. Justin Cruz in the right down corner. Gets the pick from College. College gets the ball back, shot! And he scores! And now just as a game of ping pong, Austin College gets the Sue!
Referring to Cristiano Ronaldo. Portugal, the national team for men's football, they're going to play against Spain in the round of 16 on Monday.
That will be a big matchup. Future in Cristiano Ronaldo against the future past of Cristiano Ronaldo against the future in Lamine Yamal. And now the late penalty against Portugal. Louis Arbor gives it off for Thomas Daibu. Loose ball. José Varela, low-to-low shot.
A penalty coming up on Portugal.
And France will have yet another chance to equalize the score.
The score is 5-4 in the last period of the game.
And
there is a sad Portugal player walking through the penalty bench.
That's Ethan Taguri. Pretty familiar with the penalty box already. And now France with yet another chance to utilize the mistake made by Portugal. Varela down to De Jong. Back to Varela. To the top key to Arbor. Back to Varela. Jack Teron tries to get his look from the top key. Try to flip the behind the back pass to Arbor. He gets the loose ball. Up to José Varela and blocked by one of the
another headshot, third
players.
of this game.
After this game, there won't be a player with a head on its neck.
Hopefully nobody loses their minds.
Louis Arbor on the top key. Slips the behind the back pass to José Varela. Up to Louis Arbor. Back to Varela. Tried to get into the shot. Now loose ball next to the French bench.
7 seconds on the shot clock.
Jack Teron gets the loose ball. 3 seconds. Oh, what a split by Sean Medeiros. Wow. Pretty impressed by the Portuguese netminder. Something under 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter of regulation between France and Portugal. Portugal so far with a 1-goal lead. Now Pedro Nunes flips it up for Vasconcelos. He will hold it for a little bit as they are killing now some seconds off the penalty. Nunes gets the pick from College. Tries to flip it to him again. Spins off his defender. Tried to get the shot on the cage of Coudriot. But now the shot clock is up. And we're going back the other way.
Both of the teams have surpassed the best scoring so far. And here we are with the timeout from the French bench.
They now have to think about the tactic, how they will play one of the last stretches of this game. They have to equalize, and then they have to get ahead again, and they have to retain the lead against Portugal, who has been so far pretty difficult in case of physicality. France, as I said it for Portugal a while ago, France now will have a mountain to climb against this Portuguese team. So 22 seconds remaining on the penalty of Ethan Taguri. And Louis Arbol begins with the possession. Plays catch with Derung. Clar changes it with Teron. Doesn't have seconds to go. Teron tries to flip it for Diabu. Diabu quarterbacking. Knocked down. Jules Derungs. Big shot coming. And a big block by Owen Warlow.
That can be the turning point of the game.
And Tyler Cruz going the other way. Shoots and scores! Tyler Cruz!
The main man for Portugal. So many missed opportunities from France, an expired penalty, and Cruz with his 7th goal of the game.
That's actually his brother from defense scoring his first.
Sorry, my bad. Looking so similar.
I think there are actually 3 brother duos in the Portuguese team, in Warlow, Vasconcelos, and Cruz.
It's a family game or a family company.
Justin Cruz dodges on Seymour. Big shot, but even bigger save by Kudryov. Justin Cruz tried to get a similar goal as he scored in Malasice against the same goalkeeper on the same position, and he dunked over him. That was one of the finishing touches on his 8-goal performance.
So, which means he still scoreless in the second half. A minute and 43 remaining from the game. 2-goal lead for Portugal with the most crucial time after they were trailing against France.
And now minute and a half to go. France doesn't have their timeout because they used it just 2 minutes ago. France
pulling
has
the
to do
goalie
it now.
6 on 5 for France.
And France is pulling the goalie, as just you said. 6 runners. Jake Theron. Sean Medeiros. Can he get the second one? Oh! With the rebound.
Oh, missed by. Oh my God.
And now the other way goes France. And there's a penalty shot.
There were too many 6 outfield player on the French side.
There wouldn't be a problem with Kudryov staying on the bench, but he ran to the cage as well. And because we're
4 players here, as you see, and there were 2 on the other side with Kudryov in the goal.
Indeed.
If Portugal scores here, I think it's over.
Just because Sean Medeiros has been a wall in the second half, conceding 4 goals.
Let's see.
Justin Cruz against Matej Kudryov.
Couldn't score in the second half.
France or Portugal?
Oh, he misses the net. It's pretty almost undoable for France, but you know, they just need to spend as much time as they can on the face-off. 58 seconds remaining in the game.
And France have to do it
now.
now.
Nice.
They win the face-off.
They need a good pass.
Pass it off for
Kudryov running to the bench. Oh, what a missed opportunity. Oh my God.
And sending Luis Vasconcelos the other way and holding it off against Salmins.
Oh, losing it. 36 seconds, still an empty net. A timeout for Portugal.
Portugal, unless the Salmins pissed on the aftermath, having some words for the captain is Ethan Warlow. But Austin College, with the look on his face, I think Portugal knows it. With 29 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. 29 seconds is overall a pretty short amount of time, but in ball lacrosse, anything can happen. Pedro Nunes, Vasconcelos. Yep.
They just double-checked the game clock and the shot clock. It was a little confusion from the refs, but everything is fine. 20 seconds and 5 seconds.
And Pedro Nunes will just handle it all the way. 12 seconds to go.
Oh.
Mishandled pass to Tomas Dajebu. Stopped by Francisco Coutinho. Going in the cages, Arbot. He misses it. And the game's over.
That's
the game
all.
is over. Portugal placing 17th on their premier visit of the European Championships here in Prague. And look what it means to them.
You know what it means? There are no winless team here at the 2026 European Box Lacrosse Championship. Thanks to the placement win for Portugal. I think they deserved it, they'd fight for it. It was also pretty close, but at the last period, they just scored as many as they needed. 14-12.
Just an unbelievable game in overall, going up and down. The leads were changing again yet between those two teams, but Portugal this time had the little upper hand. But France, don't hang your heads. You've played an amazing tournament, such as Portugal.
And you know what's really important? Everybody just won one game. There were so many newcomers here, couple of teams. They just played their first ever official international event, and sadly, it's a farewell and a goodbye from us. We spent beautiful 10 days here at Jižní Město in Malešice and also in Radotin. I think you were all the three venues. Of course, I had the chance too. We had a couple of games together. We mostly spent our time here at Jižní Město, and this is the last game. And that's a goodbye for us, but stay tuned. We're gonna give the Spirit and Heart Lacrosse Awards for both of the team's best players and the post-match interviews, and after that, we're gonna say goodbye.
Thank you for gathering here. First up, Team France. One of the program's longest serving players, still a core member of several national teams, and a great role model for all players on and off the field. Congratulations, Dominique Sandy. Team Portugal, for his outstanding play, relentless effort and commitment to their team, he has been a true competitor every time he stepped onto the floor. His performances, leadership by example, and passion for the game have made a lasting impact on our team. Congratulations to Sean Medeiros. koutek odnesem.
Určitě, já tu víte sklidím a začnu mít taky. Jo. Díky moc za vázání.
Pohodě.
Testovací stoleček bylo vyvědomý.
To ještě chci tam k vám do té věci.
Má pětimístný auto a jdu sám, že jo?
Jo, jak jsem šel mluvit s Lukem a těmi, to jsem chtěl si jako Bolt Drive, že jsem si skočil auto.
Když tak dovolíte.
Jo, my se domluvíme.
Já si přesun tam dopředu pro toho provoz.